Welcome to this video on Chapter 2, Measurements from the Class 6 Science Syllabus. Let's begin with these exercises. The instrument used to measure temperature is a thermometer, and the normal human body temperature is 37 degrees Celsius. Distance from a fixed point is measured from the origin. 1 meter equals 100 centimeters. Thermometers use mercury, and the SI unit of temperature is the Kelvin. Next, let's identify the appropriate instruments for specific measurements. A ruler is used for pens or pencils. A measuring tape is ideal for body height and the circumference of a tree trunk. For precise small measurements, like the thickness of an eraser, we use vernier caliper. In this matching exercise, the SI unit of length is the meter. The research unit for temperature is Kelvin. Using a handspan is a non-standard method of measurement, and red-colored liquid in a thermometer is alcohol. Testing our knowledge of these statements. 1 kilometer is not 100 centimeters, so that is false. Measuring a table with different tools should yield the same result, so that is also false. It is true that digital thermometers are used in laboratories, that observational errors lead to mistakes, and that you cannot accurately judge temperature just by touch. Ordering these length units from biggest to smallest. 1 kilometer is greater than 1 meter, which is greater than 1 centimeter, which is greater than 1 millimeter. The smallest length that can be measured using a standard ruler with millimeter divisions is 1 millimeter. When selecting units, use centimeters for a book, millimeters for a key's thickness, kilometers for the distance between cities like Nagpur and Mumbai, and meters for the length of a piece of cloth. Standard measurement tools are necessary because they provide accurate and uniform results, allowing us to measure objects correctly and compare measurements easily. Historically, people used local units: kos or mile for distance, seer or mond for weight, and power map for measuring volume. For our first activity, we measured the circumference of 5 different cylindrical items using a thread and a ruler. This table displays the recorded results, ranging from a water bottle at 22 centimeters down to a tin can at 17 centimeters. Next, we determined the thickness of a single page of a textbook. By measuring the total thickness of the 300-page book as 2.40 centimeters, we calculated the thickness of one page to be 0.08 millimeters. This visual demonstrates how we use a ruler to measure the total thickness of the book to perform our calculation. Finally, using the same method for a bundle of 100 notes with a total thickness of 1.10 centimeters, we find that the thickness of a single note is 0.11 millimeters. This image shows a bundle of currency notes being measured with a ruler. It illustrates how we can use standard measurement tools to determine the dimensions of thin objects. Moving on to project work, this slide asks you to create a model of a laboratory thermometer. You can use simple materials like a transparent plastic tube, colored thread, cardboard, and a marker. Your model should clearly display the essential components of a thermometer, including the bulb, the capillary tube, the scale for readings, and a mark indicating high temperatures. Thank you for joining this video. We hope this review of Chapter 2 helps you better understand the principles and practice of scientific measurements.